Hey everybody. Well, it's a lot colder outside. My hair's a lot longer. My beard's kinda scruffy. And I have a whole lot more games today than I did yesterday. This can mean only one thing. It's Christmas! Yep, I'm back again to talk about my Christmas pickups. And I don't quite get as much as I did last year, but still have a good amount here. And let's just start right off with some Super Famicom games. And there are actually two Japanese wrestling games. The first one being, oh god, it has that classic Super Famicom mouthful title, and that is Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling 95 Tokyo Dome Battle 7. I swear, it sounds like a parody. It sounds like the, what was it, what was it the two best friends did on their channels years ago? It was like the Super Brawl Saturday 2, whatever it was. That's what this title sounds like. But I also got Stardust Suplex, which is, actually, both of these games are by Very. And if they don't run on the same engine, they run on very similar engines. But they're pretty much as they sound. They're Japanese wrestling games using the classic Fire Pro Wrestling button combo system. And of the two, I gotta say Stardust Suplex plays better. It's a lot faster, has a better, more arcadey feel. If your character isn't stuck to the mat as often as, other wrestling games would have you. So, you're not constantly going, oh my god, just get up. It's a pretty quick, fast-paced wrestling game, really easy to play. I want to say the button commands are pretty lenient in this game. A lot of fun, but this one is a Bishoujo wrestling game, so women only. And I'm not entirely sure if it's based off of actual women's wrestlers or not. I'm not that well versed in the Joshi world of wrestling or New Japan, any of that kind of stuff. I know a little bit here and there, and I think it's interesting and something I will hopefully get into one of these days. Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling Battle 95, not so bad. It's also pretty good. It reminds me a lot more of Natsume Championship Wrestling than anything else. But it reminds me a lot of that. It has a good, decent selection of real wrestlers. Like I think you've got a couple famous wrestlers on the front whose names I cannot remember at the moment. Oh god, what's this guy's name? It's not the Great Sasuke. It looks like Psychosis. It might even be Psychosis on the front there. Both of them are competent Japanese wrestling games if you're into that kind of thing. And I'm sure I will go into depth into those games at some point on the channel. Next up is one that's been on my radar for a long, long time. And that is the Cho Anarchy fighting game. And I'm really glad to have this in my collection now, and I got it for a pretty good price. Usually it goes for anywhere from like $30 to $50, and I think I got it maybe $35. But I'd only played the game once or twice. It's a Cho Anarchy fighting game. You get it for that alone. It's crazy. It's a spectacle. But I popped it in earlier today, played it for, a good 30 minutes or something like that, and realized that it's actually a fairly competent fighting game, more so than I thought. So I will definitely be talking about this one, hopefully in the coming year. And it's a lot of fun. Really good fun, really weird, as you expect, totally worth picking up. Would definitely recommend to anybody who's on the fence, even if you're not a big fan of fighting games. It's worth it to just see the crazy shit that this game has in it alone. Also, I gotta give it to the game, they put a lot into the graphics, which is where you would want all of the effort and time put into in a Cho Anarchy game, because you want everything to look ridiculous and as crazy as possible, and I have to give it to them, the stage design in this game is excellent. It looks really, really good. But yes, the Cho Anarchy Bakuretsu Ranto Hen. Highly recommend getting this if you are into weird Japanese games. Alright, that's gonna do it for all of the retro games I got this year, but in place of a handful of other games, I ended up with a massive stack of Famitsu Magazines. Yes, my latest craze, if you will. So yeah, I've got a couple from 93, a bunch from 94, and one or two from 96, I believe. They're just gorgeous. Here, let's just flip this open. Look at this. Amazing Rockman X ad. If I can get all the glare off it. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. Let's see what else we got in here. Just gonna kind of... Awesome ad for the game Alcahest. God, I hope this is showing up on camera. Nope, having a tough time here. Trying to see what I'm showing you all. Here, maybe if I do it this way. Alcahest. If you're not familiar with Alcahest, it's a really cool overhead action RPG for the Super Famicom. And like everything on this channel, I will eventually tackle that one too. Let's see. It's funny, the more and more... Oh god, this right here. I'll get back to what I was saying in just a second. But look at this beautiful 2-page spread on Illusion of Gaia for the Super Famicom. I'm sure the glare is all over the place on this one. I'm so sorry about that. But up top here, I got a postcard with it. Awesome little postcard of the amazing, absolutely to die for Japanese box art cover. That's so cool. But as I was saying earlier, the more and more of these games I get, the more weird and questionable stuff I find in these magazines. Like in one of the magazines I have down here is literally like a 6-page spread on just like panty shots and like creep like games you can basically creep on women in. It's incredibly odd and strange, and I feel like now that I've bought this magazine, it is in my hands, I'm probably on a list somewhere. Yeah, it's some weird stuff. It's another one. A wonderful ad for Bahamut Lagoon on the back. Let's see, it's flipped through. Let's see what we got here. What the hell is this? I don't know what this is. Certainly weird. It's like a surfing game? Something for the PlayStation. WrestleMania, the arcade game ad. And an NBA, what is it, Jam? Yep, NBA Jam. Boom shakalaka. Oh, wow. Here's an ad for... I cannot remember this game's name. But it's a really, really interesting one on the Super Famicom. Where I think you survive you survive a plane crash and you wash up on a desert island. And you have to survive for a year you have to survive until help comes. And it's like a weird simulation. You're stuck there with a captain and then a bunch of women, so it's almost like a kind of weird harem. But it has like RPG elements to it. It's really weird, and I would love to see a translation of it one of these days. Here's the next one. God, this thing says I'm already at 10 minutes. Beautiful ad for Goemon on the back. Couple games on the inside cover. This next one, I believe, has like a Japanese idol on the front of it. I think there's like a... When I was skimming through it the other day, it looked like there was some sort of photo shoot with her in there. Nothing like scantily clad or anything like that. But you know how Japan is with their fixation with idols. Dodonpachi ad in here. Beautiful ad for this this weird Zenki, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like almost a weird like action RPG puzzle game. I've played it and I've made it. I can't get past the second stage. You have like a certain amount of turns to figure everything out, and it drives me crazy because it seems like it's a really cool game. So here's got some Gundam on the back. On the inside we got Tokimeki Memorial. It's extremely hard to... Here's another ad for that Zenki game. It's extremely hard to like turn these magazines around and show you what I'm looking at and have it face the right direction. Oh yeah, there's a big old 2-page spread on Treasure Hunter G, which is an excellent RPG for the Super Famicom. One I've not played yet, or I've played like the first 5 minutes of it, and one I eventually want to really get into. Ooh, here we go. We have Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 3, and on the back, got Kirby Golf. Let's see what else we got in here. God, look at this amazing art. Not sure which game this is. But just full page, full of character art. Love it. I love it. It's so cool. Alright, well here. For RPG Maker 2. Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork for it all. That's just the fun part about all these Famitsu magazines. You just find a ton of awesome ads and artwork that you won't see anywhere else. And I assume this video is going to come out before my episode where I talk about strictly magazine pickups and stuff like that. So look forward to that in the future. Alright, and the big surprise this year was something I was not expecting. And that was a Nintendo Switch. My wonderful parents and girlfriend got me a Nintendo Switch. Completely surprised me. I did not ask for one. And actually, as a matter of fact, it's been an ongoing joke for a while now between Glitch Hunting Gamer and Infinite Combo Reviews. They both have Switches and they keep yelling at me, Drew, you need to get a Switch. Yeah, oh, this would be so great if only you had a Switch. And out of pure spite, for 2 years, I've kept going, yeah, nah. You know, oh, I have this money. I could get a Switch with it, but I think I'm gonna do this instead. More Super Famicom games. But the joke is finally over, and I have a Switch. And it came with Mario Kart 8, which is awesome. And I just, let's see, I picked up the remaster of Pokemon Diamond, because when those games came out, I was just kind of getting out of Pokemon at the time. I was just kind of past the right age limit for Pokemon. And, geez, it's a whole story unto itself how I ended up with a cart for Pearl, I think. But I got it, and I played it for maybe, 20 minutes, maybe an hour, something like that, and I just never went back. So what a perfect opportunity to go back and play through, a generation of Pokemon I missed. And I've got a lot of catching up to do in the world of Pokemon. But on top of getting that, I just went out today in search of a couple games for it as well. One being Super Mario Bros. 3D All-Stars. I had to get this one. My love of Super Mario Sunshine will never ever die, even though I know that this version in particularly screwed up the camera controls, and that's gonna bug me to no end as a Super Mario Sunshine purist. But I believe they also inverted the camera controls for Super Mario 64, so now I think they'll control more similar to how original Super Mario Sunshine's camera controlled. So I might end up actually liking this version of 64 better than the actual version. And if I'm gonna be honest, I've never played Galaxy. I own a Wii. I had Wii, and never owned Galaxy or Galaxy 2. So this will be a lot of fun. And next up, I got the Doom Slayer collection, which is Doom 1, 2, 3, 64, and Doom 2016. Now, I really, really wanted to get Doom Eternal, and I'm probably just going to order it off Amazon here very soon. But I was out looking at the store today and saw this, and it was actually cheaper to get this collection than it was to get just Doom 2016 by itself. And as much as I don't like FPS games on a controller, I prefer the keyboard and mouse for that. I mean, the idea of being able to own Doom Eternal on the go is too appealing to not eventually pick it up. Well, that's going to do it for all of the video game pickups, but real quick, to continue, or to follow up with a tradition I started last year, a little bit of like anime and DVD pickups. First up is one of my favorite kung fu movies of all time, and it is called Ninja Hunter. From 1987, and it's also, I believe, known as Wu-tang vs. Ninja. It is on YouTube, and it is one of the most ridiculous kung fu movies I've ever seen. There are a lot of movies that claim that they have non-stop action. This movie quite literally is, from start to finish, absolutely nothing but fighting. There's maybe 5 minutes of plot scattered in between, but it is non-stop fight scene to the next fight scene, tiny bit of talking, next fight scene, next fight scene, next fight scene. Holy shit, he just kicked that guy off a cliff, the movie's over. Excellent, cheesy, wonderful kung fu movie that I've loved for years. I found it way back in college, and I just remember getting really drunk and watching with a couple friends one night, and then I was I forgot what it was called, and I wasn't able to find it for years. And I just happened to stumble upon an article. I think it was an article that introduced me to the movie. I stumbled upon that article again after years of looking, and I finally found it and watched it again, and had to seek out a DVD. Love this movie, Ninja Hunter. And just a couple hours earlier, I was at the store and was walking past the Blu-ray section and figured, yeah, I'll give it a look, and found this. Evangelion, the complete series, on Blu-ray. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be able to hold a complete series for Evangelion in my hands that did not cost me thousands or hundreds of dollars. Because for a long time, the only way to own this series legit were, like a very limited press on DVD back in the early 2000s, or in my case, a cheap, crappy quality, Chinese bootleg version of the series. Which, sufficed for a number of years, but to own it on Blu-ray, so much better. I actually have a ton more anime to talk about. As a matter of fact, a whole box full, but that is a video unto itself, as there is a story that goes with it all. So that's going to do it for this Christmas 2021 pickups. Everybody, let me know what you got for Christmas in the comments down below. Let me know what surprises you got, even if it's not video game stuff. Just let me know what your best gift was. Let's share that Christmas spirit, and I will see you all in the next episode. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, consider checking out these other videos right here, or even subscribing. Also, if you'd like to throw me a couple of bucks, you can support the show on Patreon.